Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to
Hey.
our Pano walkthrough tutorial session. Um, Basically, it's going to be led by myself and our resident Pano walkthrough expert, Todd Camp, and Michael as well will chime in. And I'm going to start off by just giving you guys a really quick run through of what a Pano walkthrough even looks like, because we did create this software, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe even 2.5 years ago. So you might forget, or maybe you never saw it then, but we'll give you a quick run through of what it looks like. And then I'll take you on a quick little run through of the back end and how you can create these yourselves. And then at any point, Todd, please feel free to jump in because Todd's been using this quite a bit and he's got a lot of good tricks and tips and he really knows the inside and out and how to make it work really well. And then after that, we can get into more, questions and more about equipment and what kind of camera you need to use and that kind of stuff where Todd will take over because he is the expert. So I'm hoping just holler if you have a question because I have a tendency to talk and talk. So if you have a question, just holler over top of me and I'll stop and we'll address it. I hope everyone can see my screen right now. I am on picture number 1 of a panel walkthrough, and I've just made my panel walkthrough take up my whole screen. You can have a panel walkthrough as a standalone tour, kind of like a Matterport, or you can have it built into the virtual tour player. So it's up to you, just like Matterport or video, you can have it built in. So I'm showing one of Todd's listings that we did way back when we were first building the technology and stuff. This is the front of the house. And you'll notice right here, this little white arrow, that's what we call a hotspot, okay? So I'm going to move my mouse around. Hopefully this works okay on webinar. Sometimes things are a bit slow or they lag a bit on webinar. But if I move my mouse, if I click and move around, you'll see that I'm in a pano and I can do a full 360-degree view of the pano, right? All the way back around to the front of the house. Now, what's great about this is that if I click on my hotspot, it's going to transition me into the front of the house. So basically, we've just transitioned from one pano, which was the outside of the house, to another pano, which is of the front door, right? And there's another hotspot on the front door. So if I'm a viewer, I think, well, if I click on this hotspot, it should take me into the front hall of the house. So I click on this hotspot and I transition from that pano into another pano, which is the front hall of the house. And like all the other panos, if I click in here, I can revolve around and see, oh, look, there's a study. Come all the way around. There's the front door again. All the way around, I see there's a dining room and there's a hotspot, so I could move into the dining room. Here's the kitchen. I could click on this hotspot and move into the kitchen. Here's the living room. I can click on this hotspot and it moves me into the living room, and so on and so forth. As I rotate around, I can now go follow this hotspot, which will take me down a hallway to some bedrooms and a bathroom. I can move around. I can take this hotspot, which will move me over here into the breakfast nook. I can go further into the kitchen, so on and so forth, right? And then again, here's a hotspot that takes me back out the front door of the house, okay? If I click on this, I go back out the front door, back out the front door again, and I'm right back out where I started, basically, okay? And I can move around. So that's the basic idea between the panel walkthrough. It's kind of like a Matterport tour. However, we're really just stringing together pano shots by adding hotspots to connect them. But it gives the viewer the sensation that you are moving into the house and you can kind of tour around it, okay? So that's basically what it looks like from the front end. Now I'm going to jump into my own photography account just so I can show you guys how you can upload these and make them yourselves, okay? So I'm logged into my own Photog account and I'm in the photography manager, I'm in the shoot manager, and I'm on my manage photos. So here was my little photo shoot I did, and under actions, I just went to manage photos, which brings me here, okay? Everyone's familiar with this page. I imagine, Todd, that for most of the photo shoot orders you get for panel walkthroughs, you probably also go and do just regular photography as well, because as an agent, you're always going to need just regular shots of the house that you can use in all your marketing materials. So I imagine that you would go do a regular photo shoot and you also do a Pano 360. So you're probably, when you do these shoots, you're going to have regular photos that you're going to upload to the Photos tab. But you'll notice over here, there is a tab called Walkthru, okay? So all you do is you upload all of your panos to the walkthrough tab, and you just upload them the same as you would any other image. Now I've gone ahead and uploaded all of these pictures. These are all Todd's, and they're the same pictures as a tour I just gave you guys a run through just to keep it simple. So there's some continuity so it all makes sense. So I've uploaded all of these. And just like with everything, you can have as many as you need. It just depends on how big the house is and how big you want your walkthrough tour to be. Okay. Once they're in here, you
Hey, can I
can,
say something, please?
yes, please jump in.
Hey, about those photos, you have to have at least one photo in order for this virtual tour to work on that property web page.
Yeah, that's true. As everyone knows, in order to
You have
make
to
a
have
virtual
at least
tour, you got
one
to have at
photo.
least one. You got to have at least one photo. But Todd, don't you find that when you do these, don't you normally do a regular photo shoot of just regular still images in addition to the Pano
Yes,
walkthrough? Yeah, yeah.
usually. But if somebody does just order that, you have to make sure you have at least one photo.
Right, so that it works within the virtual tour because this is held within the virtual tour and that's how they'll access it and that's how they'll access the links to it and stuff. And I can show you guys that after. Yeah. So you've uploaded all your panos, and I found, this was just my personal preference, but I found that when I was learning how to use this back when we built this, I took the time here to drag and drop these into the order that made the most sense. So you guys will have been
That's
to the,
important.
yes, exactly. And once
That's
you play around with this, you'll go, oh crap, I've got these all out of order, and it's just hard for me to get the hotspots connected. So because you've been to the house, you know the layout of the house. Think about what order you would probably do your walkthrough in, and then drag and drop these into the order that most makes sense. It's not going to be perfect because as you'll see, you're going to go into rooms and then come out of rooms, and you're going to have to do that kind of stuff, but it will make your life a lot easier if you order them here and if you delete the ones that you don't need, so on and so forth. Okay, you can do it later, but trust me, it's easier to do it here. Now, once you have uploaded
no. If you
all of
do it later, it causes problems though.
that's true. Yes, exactly. So
If you have to do it, get it all in order the way you want, and the ones deleted before you start. Because once you start, if you decide you want to change it, then you have to start all over.
yeah, you have to republish it and stuff, and that can take time depending how many
Yeah.
panels you have uploaded. And I'm not going to do that because I don't want you guys to sit here for like 2 or 3 minutes while it chugs through its system. Okay. So yes, listen to Todd. He is the guru. And once you've uploaded your pictures, I have a link right here that says Pano Walkthrough Editor. But when you upload these for the first time, this link will be red and it will say create Pano Walkthrough, okay? Because you're creating it for the first time. I've already created mine, so mine already exists. But if I want to come back in here and upload different panos or add more, I can do it here, and then I can click on Pano Walkthrough to access the editor, okay? When I click on that, I'm going to jump now to the editor so you guys can see what it looks like. This is what the Pano Walkthrough editor looks like. This is the back end. Basically over here, we have all of my panos in the same order that I uploaded and arranged them in the Shoot Manager. They're all sitting here. And then over here is whatever pano I happen to be working on. So pano number 1, I've clicked on, I've got it selected. It shows up nice and big over here. And I can actually click on this and move it around, okay? So it's not just static. I can actually move it around and really get an idea of how I want it to work, okay? All right, so it's as easy as this. When I'm ready to add my hotspot, I simply click on the button, or sorry, the button right here that says Add Hotspot, and then I click anywhere on the panel that I want my first hotspot. So I want there to be a hotspot here because I want people to click here and get to the front door. So I just click and my hotspot appears, okay? But you're not done. You can't just add a hotspot and be done. This hotspot has to link to a destination. When someone clicks on this hotspot, we need to tell the software which panel do we want them to land on. Now I know that I have a panel of the front door, which is right here. So I'm going to click and put my destination hotspot right there at the front door. Okay. You'll also notice that if I see how my mouse has changed, I can drag this little hotspot and move it over. If my front door was over here, then I could, maybe I want them to land there when the panel loads, or off a little to the left or up or down, whatever. My door happens to be right in the middle of the picture, so I'm going to put my hotspot right there, okay? So here's my starter hotspot, and you'll notice when I moused over, there's an X. If I made a mistake and I'm like, oh crap, I want to get rid of that, I can delete that, okay? And it'll go away, and my destination one will go away as well. These two are connected to each other. If you delete this one, it deletes the destination, okay? So when you have a starter hotspot, you have to have a destination, and your destination is always going to be in another pano. You can't start in this pano and have a destination in the same pano, all right? It's got to be in one of these. When I'm done with my destination, I just click done. So that's it. That's my first one. If I want to see how it looks, I can click preview, and I get a little pop-up. Again, just bear with me. It's always a little slower to load. There it is. If I click on it, it transitions to the front door. Ta-da! It was that easy. To get out of here, I just click away and it's gone. Okay? So now I'm going to click on my next Pano, which is the front door, and I'm going to add a hotspot. So click Add Hotspot because I want my person now to be at the front door. I want them to be able to go into the hallway. So here's my starting one, and my next Pano, this is the front hallway. Okay? So I want them to be facing the living room, which is actually, it doesn't look like it in the Pano, but I know that the front door right across from it is the living room, which is right here. And I know that because I know the house, and you guys will know the house too. So my destination hotspot is right there. I'm going to shift it to the right, and then I click Done. Okay? I click on the living room one. Here we are in the front hallway. I'm going to add a hotspot to the living room, and my destination is the living room, but further in. I'm going to put a hotspot right there. Done. Okay? If at any time you want to see how this is going, okay, always give yourself, like you can stop and test at any time to see if you're moving in the right way, if you need to shift a hotspot, if you have a better Pano that might have worked better. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm going to click Preview. I'm going to start at the beginning and just see if this makes sense. Okay, here I am. Hotspot 1 brings me to the front door. Hotspot 2 brings me into the front hallway. Hotspot 3 brings me into the living room. Awesome. And when I'm in here, I can spin around. Now, the one thing you need to remember, I'm just moving forward into the house. But you got to remember, when your viewer is in the house, they're going to be spinning around and they need to get out as well. So if you take them down a hallway and into a bathroom, when you're in the bathroom, you got to spin around and give them an out. They need a hotspot to get out. So I'm going to go back into this living room one that I did. I'm going to turn around this way and I'm going to add a hotspot so my viewer can get out of the house. So a hotspot at the front door, and that hotspot I'm going to link to the outside right here. But this time I'm going to move my little hotspot. Come on, hotspot. There he goes. I'm going to move it over here so that they're actually facing the walkway and the front lawn. Done. Okay? And then I can go back through and preview. And that's basically it. You're just going to go through every panel of the house and add hotspots down hallways, into bedrooms, into bathrooms, out of bedrooms, out of bathrooms, all the way around. And every time you feel like you need to wrap your head around what you've done, preview. And if you discover that you went into a hallway and can't get out, just find that wherever that Pano is over here, open it up, add a hotspot in the hallway, and then add a destination to get out. And that's basically it. And if you make a mistake, as I showed you back up here, you can mouse over any of these hotspots and delete it. And it will delete the original hotspot and the destination hotspot. So that helps. Every time you add a hotspot, it'll show you right here that you have a hotspot. Picture number 2 has a hotspot linked to picture number 3. Aha, this one links to this one. So if you find it easier to do it this way, you can. And you can have multiple hotspots on a picture, okay? So for example, this one of the living room, I would add a hotspot here to go down the hallway. I would add a hotspot here to go to the breakfast nook. I would add a hotspot here to go into the kitchen. I'd add a hotspot there to go in the dining room and a hotspot here to get out the front door. It just depends on your house. This is one of those houses that has a great room, right, with lots of things, wings and stuff. And, ooh, I don't know if we're getting static from Jordan. I think that's you. Mute yourself. Perfect, thanks. Oh, there you go. Okay, and then when you're done adding all of your hotspots, Todd, correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't want to go through the whole process until I'd done this. You click Publish the walkthrough, and then that will publish it. And it does send you an email, just like when you publish a virtual tour, with links to the walkthrough and everything else. And then Todd, correct me if I'm wrong, you publish the walkthrough, doesn't publish the virtual tour. You have to do that as well, correct?
Yes, I do both of them.
Okay, at the same time, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
now I get the email, it has the link on it, ready to go.
Yeah, so it'll send you, no, I saved one of these in here so I wouldn't have to go searching for it in my inbox. I think it's this one. Yeah, so you'll get an email, and does your client get the same email, or does it just go to you, Todd?
Now this is it's ready. Once you publish it, this is the one that gets it ready, and it goes to the Pano editor.
Mm-hmm.
To edit. The other email is the published email. This
Okay.
is just so you can edit it.
Yeah, so this comes to you so that you can click on one of these and go back in and edit just right from the email if you need to. And you can always go back and edit. Like even if you've published it and you watch it and you're like, it could be better. I've got a better pano or I've got too many panos, right? You can go in and delete a bunch and redo it. You can also, if you've made a real mess and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing, there's a button here that says clear hotspots. That will clear every single hotspot. So as you're learning how to do it, you might a couple times want to just clear your hotspots and start over again. But trust me, once you get the hang of it, it's actually kind of fun to go through and add your little hotspots and move them around and tour your house. And it's kind of a neat tool. And as far as I know, Todd, as long as you have a camera that can do panos, you can do these for free. You don't need any special equipment or software.
That's right. There's a couple options that I've been offering with the cameras, different cameras, Matterport, 360 cameras. There's a couple options. I really don't stitch these anymore. I do mostly stitching for high end. This for this. The 360 cameras are great. Insta360s or the Theta Z1 is good. I also offer you can do Matterport with those cameras as well, which is kind of nice. I'm doing a thing Matterport Lite using those 360 cameras. And they come out almost, it's a lot faster than the Matterport, but it's nice. You can also do Zillow tours with that Theta, which some agents don't like the Zillow, some agents swear by it. But I've been using the Insta360 and the Theta for this. It works great. It's fast. You can probably do one in 10 minutes. This tour here, probably less than 10 minutes shooting.
Yeah, it's pretty, once you get the hang of it, and especially because you guys know the way around the house. When I'm trying to do these, I don't know my way around, so I have to go through the panos like 5 times to make sense of them. But you guys should be able to walk through these pretty quick. I want to go out of the hallway.
Yeah, I've been shooting it obvious enough so that an editor can go without even being in the house. Just kind of go the same way all the way around the house. And I don't know if who does their own editing or who has other editors do it, but the editors, you gotta make it obvious.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like it's fun to use. So yeah, you guys can practice and you can take any listing that you've done in the past where you did some panos, just upload a bunch of panos and just play around with it. But just remember, when you add a hotspot, your hotspot has to have a destination and then you click done. So there's like a step for each one. And when you go into a room, you have to give your viewer a way to get out of that room. But you'll discover that pretty quickly when you preview it and you're stuck in the kitchen and you can't get out. So you'll get the hang of it.
Is anybody offering any 360 tours? Is anybody asking for them? I got a lot of people asking for them.
Paul in Chicago just started doing this, and he's doing about 3 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. I like this one because you don't have to pay the fees like you do on Matterport. It's pretty easy to use once you get the hang.
But we charge $15 per listing for used photographers, and of course we pay your collection fees, which is 3%. So if you do a $300 shoot, that's the collection fees on up to $9. So you end up paying $6 to us for our services, which includes your scheduling system, the property tours, plus the Pano tours. Your clients get use of our print creators. So there's an awful lot of value in what we offer. There's no Matterport collection fees. You don't have to buy an expensive Matterport camera.
Yeah, well, you can go back. You can go back. If you've already done a shoot for someone recently, you could say, hey, in light of these times when people can't go to open houses, you could go back and do a pano shoot of the same property and make a panel walkthrough for them. Because I'm getting a lot of support calls from clients asking, what kind of stuff can they do? Can they do Matterport? Can they do video walkthroughs? Can we do pano walkthroughs? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. It's a great way to, show people your house. And also, just like Let me get into the back end of the tour. Just like our regular virtual tours and stuff, when you go into the back end of the virtual tour and the clients, when they go into the back end of the virtual tour, the link to it, and I'll just go into this one right here. If I go to my links page, here's my walkthrough tab. So here's my panel walkthrough right here, and here's the link to it. So I had a client, I think it was just yesterday, who they didn't want the walkthrough built, well, they wanted it built into the middle of their virtual tour, but they also wanted a link that they could just watch the walkthrough by itself, which is what I showed you guys at the beginning of our little session. This is just the walkthrough all by itself in its own little URL. It's not built into the tour, so you can have that as well. So yeah,
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
This might be one from Michael. Because this walkthrough is unbranded, and a lot of people are wanting to put them on the MLS. The only way I can see that they can put on MLS if they use our link, because we have to get them approved, all those links for MLS, right?
Right.
Is it possible to get just this one 360 link approved? Because it doesn't. I notice it doesn't have the MLS in the link.
Oh,
And
this
it
like
isn't
this. You mean this link here, Todd?
Yeah, I mean it's the same as the one down there, right?
Yeah, because this is our virtual tour link. Oh, the unbranded one has mls.realtor.biz.
Yeah, see how that was approved. The MLS ones have to be approved. If you
Oh.
go down and use the one that is just the virtual tour,
Mm-hmm.
it's unbranded anyway. There's no branded information. I wonder if we can get that.
Well, I'll make a
I
note
will
of that.
we'll put that in our schedule tomorrow to discuss that at our dev session. And we'll see how easy it is for us to do that for you.
Yeah.
All right. I thought about that today. Somebody asked me.
Yeah, no, it's good. Any suggestions, anything that pops in your head, just ask us. And if it's something we can do and it's going to be beneficial for everybody, of course, we'll do it.
We're seeing probably a threefold increase in the order count for 3D virtual tours.
Yeah.
I believe that agents now are putting that in their listing presentations as a way to get interest in getting listings in this pandemic era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people are still interested. I've had 2 or 3 calls this week just asking if we're still doing any of our services, especially photography. And I said, well, I mean, it's photographer specific, but I'm like, yep, go and check the photo shoot page and available photographers in your area and check and see who's offering what. So there's still business to be had.
One of the things that I'm seeing, which really amazes me, is some of our photographers are offering incredible packages. I saw an order go through for David Stewart today for $900.
Whoa.
He included Zillow and Matterport and 3D. I mean, you get all those specific products and add-ons. It just makes a huge difference to your bottom line. It's just I think that this whole thing might produce a incredible revenue source for you guys that want to adopt 3D in whatever form your clients want.
Mm-hmm. Like you can make a package that includes still photography and your 3D option, whether it's a walkthrough or a Matterport or a video walkthrough. You can make a whole package that includes everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, like, does anybody have any questions, especially for Todd, on equipment or how he goes about doing it or how much extra time it takes?
Yeah, this is Philip here. I would like to ask Todd about that, about the 360 camera, is as opposed to just using a regular camera and doing a 360. Is it the quality or the?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot faster for sure. The quality is never going to be as good as it with the regular camera.
Right.
But it does take longer, you know, because you're doing 4 turns. If you're doing HDR, you're doing the 3 brackets. And
right.
then you have to skip it when you get back. As far as workflow, it's much easier. These 360 cameras, I just put it in the middle of the room. I run out of the room, push my cell phone, bloop, take the picture, go get it, move it to another room. Bloop.
Nice.
It's
nice.
quite fast. You can put it in the middle rooms and so you don't have to set up and level the camera and all that. It's all on a stick. Everything's pretty, it's really a lot faster.
Wow, cool.
I'm gonna
Are they very expensive, these cameras, the 360?
The Insta360, it's under $500 for sure.
Oh, wow.
I love that one. The Theta is
Yeah.
the one that's about like $900, and it's a little bit higher end. It also works with Zillow 360. I don't know if anybody shoots for Zillow, but the Zillow 360s use the Theta. The Insta360 won't work, but I like the workflow of the Insta360 myself.
Huh. Well, thank you. That's great.
It's not expensive either, and it's pretty good.
Awesome.
Jen,
Yeah,
I sent you an email from showing David Stewart's $900 order if you want to show it to the guys, just to give them an idea of how he breaks his pricing packages down.
So what did they order? Luxury listing with aerials, pro lighting, and advanced retouching. And that was a medium package for houses 2,000 to 3,500 square feet. That's $375, plus a twilight photo shoot, which includes a Zillow video walkthrough for another $260. And then as an additional offering, a schematic floor plan as an add-on to a Matterport 3D, which is $35. And then his Matterport 3D photography is $180. Wow, for a total of $920. That's pretty good.
If you do the math here, because we pay the collection fee, $900 times 3 is $27. We charge David $15, and we actually pay his collection fee. So we're actually paying David to order his shoots through our system.
Yeah, in this case, yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And guys, just so you know, if you can find the chat in this GoToMeeting interface that's more complicated than the old one, I've put a link to the walkthrough demo just so you guys can play around with it. And I don't know, Todd, like this one we're looking at, did you use a regular camera for this or a 360?
Yeah, that was a regular camera.
Okay, so if you like, I don't know about you guys, I have a big monitor, and to me, the quality of these pictures are great.
Yeah, that was a regular camera. It could have been better. I think I was just starting then when we just started developing this.
Yeah, this was like one of the first ones you ever did. So I'm sure you were a master of it by now, but I had this all ready to go, so I used this one, but yeah, looks good.
Look at that stitching area right there in the front of the house. That kills me.
There's a rare here. I can't even see it. I can see the one over here. That I
Oh
don't
yeah, that's another one.
I don't see it in the front of the house though,
I know
so it's
why
pretty
that-
good.
I like the idea of the new cameras that Todd's using. Just so much easier than doing it the old way.
Oh, yeah.
They're fast, and you know a lot of these 360s play on Facebook too. I had an agent. He just posted all the 360s I put in. He downloads them just like his photos through the walkthrough. He uploaded all of them to his Facebook and sent it out. I think he spent $50 to send it out to boost it or whatever. He said he sold the house just by doing that.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Play really nice on Facebook.
Do you, Todd, do you have to run this through any kind of a program app afterwards? Like, do you have to put it through a Pano program or anything like that with a 360 camera?
Yeah, the 360 cameras, you have to just kind of like download it through their program, and then you export it as a JPEG.
Okay. Oh, so they have a specific program that you run it through?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you always have to make sure you save it, like you take it through Lightroom once you do the JPEGs, that you're very careful saving all your metadata for several reasons. But one, if you're going to play it on Facebook, if you keep the metadata, it'll automatically recognize it and play as a 360.
Gotcha.
See, it's loading as a flat image. That means the metadata is gone. It doesn't recognize it.
Gotcha.
But these here were done with the regular camera.
Yeah, and this little player also pulls up so you can navigate just by, if you want to jump ahead to a picture, you've got that up here as well. And you can jump through them.
What's nice about those little cameras, Insta 360 cameras is it's got a tiny pole. You don't have to worry about your mirrors. It's easy to hide behind like a little line in the shower or something. You don't have a whole tripod to try to hide from.
Hmm. There we are in the dining room. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, like you really feel like you've got a sense of this house.
This is what a lot of people are wanting. I'm just hoping that it carries over. They start ordering it permanently.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get used to it, having to get used to it.
Glad that this whole um, situation is going to last for a long time.
Well, even I think
So,
it'll
Yeah,
have, even when it's over, people are still going to be a little nervous to go into other people's houses and stuff. So they might appreciate being able to do an open house this way.
yeah, no, I think it will. A lot of people like it.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, especially.
Mm-hmm.
So Todd,
Even
how
the
do you
home.
set it up in bathrooms, a really small, a really small space like that, where you might have mirrors, or
Oh, let's
do
go
you
into the
just
bathroom.
retouch that out afterwards?
I've got my one signature shot, which I put it just like right in front of the toilet, like to
Right.
give you the bird's eye view
Uh-huh.
kind of deal. So that way you're not in the way of the mirror.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, I just try to move it, as close to the sink without getting in the mirror.
Look at
Gotcha.
that. There's the mirror. There's no Todd.
Yeah, I try to avoid the mirrors as much as possible. But
Yeah.
really, that little hole is so easy to retouch out. If you just kind of look in the mirror and see what's in the background, you can put it in a spot that's going to be easy to clone,
Gotcha.
You can see. And then I just step out of the room and you won't see me in that little pole. You put it in the right spot, you'll never notice it hardly, but 90% of the time.
Cool. Yep. Excellent.
But yeah, a lot of people are asking for it. I shot a couple today. We did a
Wow.
couple of those Matterport, all those little cameras, you can use the Matterport software as well. You don't need to buy a Matterport to use that whole interface. And then just charge more.
Mm-hmm.
I get charged 10 cents a square foot for Matterport, 5 cents, I call it Matterport Lite. And then I charge 3 cents for the walkthrough.
Gotcha.
If it's an add-on, it makes it you're there anyway. It takes you 15 minutes really to go through and do it with the camera. And it's worth it.
Yeah, you're there anyway. Yeah.
do you use the same camera for your Zillow walkthrough, Todd?
Zillow walkthrough, you can only use that Ricoh Theta Z1, which is the expensive one.
So the
I
guys
find
might
it-
consider, might consider that if they want to start offering Zillow, because I see Zillow orders a lot going through.
Yes, some of the agents who do it, what's good about the Zillow is the agents get that premier treatment without having to pay Zillow.
Right.
So when they order that photo, that Zillow shoot from us, when that shoot comes up, it says that it was theirs, it has their name on it. Instead of the preferred vendor or whatever they have, and that's just because you have a shoot up there, that person on the little box to the right is not necessarily the person who has that listing. There's other reasons.
If you structure your photography packages with all these little add-ons, it doesn't take very long before you can really start to get a lot of revenue for every shoot. And as you all know, one of the major costs of the shoot is getting there and getting back.
Yeah.
If you're already there, having all these little add-ons becomes very lucrative for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some agents, they order, now there's one lady, she wants this on every one of her tours. She orders 2 aerials on every tour. By the time it adds up, it's always over a $200 order. Between the aerials, the Zillow, or this, and then the regular photography.
No,
A little
that's
bit
good.
here, a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know about it.
Must be clear. It's as clear as mud. Everyone can go and play around
No,
with it. It's easy.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
easy to use.
it looks great.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, you can pick up some of these little Insta360 cameras now, like the Theta. Ricoh came out with that one. Of course, now everybody wants to get the new one, and you can pick up those other ones on eBay for real cheap. They work as well.
The Beta Zs.
Not the Z. There's another one before the Z, I think,
Okay.
that you can pick up. They're not. I mean, there is a quality difference, but you know, these are more, I think, temporary. When you talk about real estate, they're using it 3 to 6 months. It's not like a home builder who uses it for his portfolio, or a hotel that keeps it up for a couple of years.
Right.
All right. Any more questions for Todd or Jana before we adjourn?
Not for me. That was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and if you guys want to try it next week and you run into something, just throw me an email. Or if it's technical, throw an email to Todd. And if you want, I can always jump on a Webby with you, like one-on-one, and we can go through something if you're having difficulty with something.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Good.
We also, Merrick joined us tonight. Merrick is one of the programmers that created this. And he's actually been helping our photographers that have particular issues. So he's always available to assist you guys if you need it. Just shout out to you, Merrick.
Hello, yes, I can confirm that.
He can confirm that he is Merrick, yes. And he will help you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any good ideas, you're not sure about something, Merrick is always available to assist. So that's always a bonus.
Yeah.
And Jana is, as you know, has recorded this, and she's going to send it out to everyone as well.
Yeah, I'll just
Great.
load it up on YouTube as soon as we're done, and then I'll shoot you guys an email with a link to it so you can rewatch it if you want. But honestly, the best way to learn is to just go into your own accounts, set up a fake listing. Even if you upload 3 or 4 panos, you only need like 3 or 4 to kind of get the hang of it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I see. It's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, guys, thanks for joining tonight. And Jan and I are available. Just send us an email if you need some assistance.
Great. Thanks very much.
Okay, bye guys. Happy Easter weekend.
Bye. Thanks. Same to you.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Todd, you want to stay on?